guys, today we're going to look at the prices for D-BT06 because it is a big set. It's a hype set. Lots of impacts. Lots of new cards, right? And cool cards. So we're going to see how expensive they are. Like, if some of them have dropped. Because I did take a quick look at it on Friday when looking at DF's pack pulls and just checking how much money he got. But today we're going to look at Yute, Big Web as well. Those are the two sites I used to use, right? And they're actually a bit more expensive than you'd find locally in Japan. It's just how it is. But, you know, there's not really any good way for a foreigner to buy cards unless it's from Mercari, all right? Or you get a pal in Japan to buy it for you. And then we're going to look at the Shaka Shaka buy prices. Now, there have been some rarity changes as well for BT06, or D-BT06. So we don't have, like, SPs anymore. We have things called, like, frame... We also don't have holos. So we have things like frame rares and FF rares, which is, like, a super frame rare. But we still have DSRs, right? So, and those are still relatively rare. I think those are the rarest. You get like one every 3 cases, so it's still quite rare. But then we can compare it to the FFRs, which I think is like 2 to 4 per case apparently. Now those rarities might not be the same in English because English does have different kind of case distributions. But I think the DSR still kind of stays the same. So you know that might change, like those prices might be different in English if the distribution is different, right? So let's kind of take a look. So we have the DSRs here. We have the Youthberg DSR and the Leonon DSR. So right here, we already see there's a huge difference. No one cares about Youthberg, all right? That's just how it is. Skyfall Arms, more like Skyfall, no one wants to buy you, all right? That's what you have. You still have 4 sitting around here. They're at 13K, right? So if we think about this, if you were in Japan right now and you're at a local store and they are selling Youthberg DSRs, you would probably find them for a cheaper price, and they probably would not be sold out, because if they were sold out, you just go here and buy them, right? Even though they're slightly more expensive. When it comes to high rarity cards, it doesn't matter as much, right? If you want to buy them, you will buy them, right? Unless this price is ridiculously expensive, right? Unless we're talking about like a Youthberg DSR in like at a local store being like 8K and it's like a 13K, then I can see why people won't buy them, right? But 13K, 4 are still sitting there. That means you can technically buy a playset of it and look really Chad, because someone's definitely done it for the Leonons, right? Yute would not crack 0 Leonon DSRs. There was definitely Leonons, and it's already been sold out, and this is at 30K, right? This is at 30K sold out. So if you pull a DSR Leonon, you're basically chilling. You've won the game, right? But if you pulled Youthberg DSRs, you better hope that they get a lot of good support next set. But I think by then they would have sold out. Right? 13K is not bad. But look at these FFRs. This Jiva FFR is actually insane. It is worth more than a DSR, right? And I think it actually might be harder to pull this FFR than like the others, because you're competing with so many of the other FFRs. Look at this. The Jiva is actually the most expensive FFR out of the lot. And I think that makes sense, right? One, Wait, the FFR Youthberg Skyfall is more expensive than the DSR one. Oh. Okay. But the Leonon is not, right? The Leonon, this one is only 14.5? It's like 15, I mean? And there's still some left, but the DSR ones are sold out. Interesting. I guess people pay more for like a clamp art of like 2 girls. But Leonon FFR, you only get 1, right? But no one cares about Raika, right? So they would prefer not to pay more money for him. They would rather pay more money to not have him in the picture. That's the takeaway. But if you pull Jiva, you've won the... This is 18K. This is 18K, right? And then if you were gonna full foil your cross overdress deck, you better be living on ramen for a while. Look at this. You know, you want your Brams, you want your Gyros. Ooh, that's pricey. The rest of it is actually not bad, right? The rest of it is not bad. Like, I guess Youthberg is pretty bad because you also have to get some of the Gusts, and then this triple R, and then I don't know, Leonon. You're basically paying a lot of money for like a not great deck, but that's pretty much it. Like, the rest of it, like, if you were to full foil Heroes, this is pretty cheap. You know, it's pretty cheap, right? The the grade 1 booster is more expensive than the actual grade 3. Wow. Well, all right, that's cool. That's cool. What about the triple R's? So the triple R's. So Jiva right now is at like 1980, right? So 2K, and Leonon is at 2K. So the Leonon prices actually went down. I remember this was like a bit higher. This was higher than Jiva for sure. But you know, after probably a weekend of playing, people realized Leonon is just not that great anyway. So this price kind of went down a bit, but the grade 1 is still gone. Diantha is still, this is like 2K sold out, which indicates this is a good card. And it is, because you can probably play this in other decks too. So, seems good, right? It seems well worth its cost. The Youthberg stuff, Skyfall Arms is sold out, right? Gust still around. Overall, like, it seems like quite a good set if you're like buying a case, right? If you guys watched the anime, in which I surely did, you know, buying a case does seem rather worth it. And I think at least in this case, it might. If you can get a good price on a case, right, for set 6, if these prices do hold, and I think English does have better prices when it comes to like selling your cards, I think it might be a good case. Just from these numbers. Because in a way, I think in English, the cross overdress stuff will probably be even more expensive. And the Youthberg stuff will also be like more expensive. Not because like Youthberg is good, but Youthberg is cool. Right? That is an undeniable fact. Youthberg is cool. Cross overdress is like kind of cool, but this is like an investment. People will be going, okay, you know, this is definitely going to get way more support. So I could buy it now, and this deck would still be relatively good. Or I could buy it later, and it'll be more expensive. And that's that, right? So I could play it now, or just buy it later and not play it. And I think a lot of people will just buy it now, right? That's just it. And then the Leonon stuff, I think we care less. I think the West kind of cares less about, like, cute Leonon and things. I think they care a bit more. They value playability more than aesthetics in some ways, unless it's like Pale Moon. I guess it's kind of still Pale Moon. But I do think Leonon will kind of, like, in Japan, I think Leonon will still kind of go down. In the West, I think on initial release, this will already be, like, lower. Though the support might be still expensive. This is just pure speculation. The other thing that might be more expensive is the Bruce support, because West does really like Bruce, right? They love Bruce, and, you know, I think a lot of people were searching for, like, 4 copies of Julian, so this will definitely be higher. Just don't crack. Well, in English, since the distribution is kind of standardized through a whole case, you can kind of just gift the hero stuff away. The heroes really aren't popping up too much. And then with the overdress, or not the overdress, the overtrigger, right? Drag Vader is like 1k, which is like expected, right? Because you have more, like, it's used for like way more decks and everything else. And then same with like a Martinoa, and the rest is just kind of at a decent price. I think, like, if this was to come out, you know, overtriggers would probably be around like $10, something like that, maybe less. Like, not 10, would it be 10 USD? Probably less than 10 USD, right? But it's like, I still think it's a decent, like, investment for standard at least, unless it gets banned in premium. But everyone will still need one of these. These cards will only go up just like before, right? The set 1 stuff, the set 1, like, staples only went up. These will still only go up. It will, like, momentarily make a dip in the market while people go, like, there's so many of them. But again, as people leave, or, you know, as just people want more, like, stuff, or if Vanguard grows, right? People say Vanguard is dying. They always say it's dying, but to be honest, right? Like, the last Springfest, BRO, all those things have kind of only shown there's, like, more interest in Vanguard. And the thing is, like, they've announced a lot more competition for Vanguard as well. I don't see those games totally killing Vanguard. So, in fact, it might be like they might bring just more people into TCGs in general, and then they swap over to Vanguard or something. But that's pure speculation. But I guess, like, this whole video has been speculation. And I guess the other thing is just rares. So, well, double R's are a pretty good price, right? Only the Jiva stuff is big expensive. It's like 500 for builds, because it's like the most staple card in existence. The rest of it is just fine. I guess this Hexa Orb, thing being like, this is a Hexo Orb, right? Yeah. This one was the counter. This one being 300 yen is weird. This one's actually weird. 300 yen for the counter charger. I didn't even know people play Hexo Orb. That's just yeah. And the Prayer Dragon here, yeah, Prayer Dragon 400. Wow. Okay, yeah. So if you're Jivaing, if you're cross overdress, you're paying a lot of money. And then the rares, we're just looking at the nulls, right? The perfect guard. So 200, 200, 200, basically 200. Okay, so the Keta one is 300. Stoic Care is 300. But that's about it. Where's the, oh, this one's 300. So basically everything except for the Brangate one is 300. But the Brangate, this one is like 200. So is there anything else that we need to look at? I think the commons just pretty much all junk. But yeah, PRs. Oh, these PRs. Oh, these are frame rep. Oh no, frame rares. These are just normal frame rares. So I think the frame rares are just like, I guess the PG, this PG frame rare is sold out, eh? So PG frame rares being all sold out. This is like, this is the key money. Everyone wants PG frame rares because they're cool. So, where's the Keta one? This one. Okay, I guess no one likes the Keta one as much. Does anyone like the Stoic one? No. So Stoic and Keta is still in stock here. Oh, the Brangate one is nearly sold out though. This is like one off. But yeah, I guess the frame rare perfect guards are pretty good. They're a pretty good investment. Because you'll use them more, right? You use them more, and then bills again 1K for. That's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. 1K. The rest of the frame rares do look pretty bad though, right? Like who cares about them, right? It's kind of it. Kind of is. And then lastly, there's nothing more. So that is basically everything from set 6. Let's kind of just cross-check this with Big Web as well. Big Web, you can see 13K around this. This is actually sold out. 13K at Big Web. The ESR is gone. But this one is 26K. 26. So you can. Oh, there's still one left. Hey, this is cheaper than Ute. Ute was like 29, right? Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay. So Charlie buys Jiva though. 13K. Same price as like Youthberg Skyfall for the FFR, right? FFR, okay. And then Botus? People actually they don't have FFR Botus? Maybe Big Web actually just like pulled less. But yeah, the Jiva stuff's still quite expensive. Oh, this guy's gone too. So actually the Skyfall for FFR is also 13K. So that's like kind of the trend. 13K, 13K. DSR's not Youthbeg DSR is not as cool. And then the FRs, yeah, the FR nulls are still quite high. But if you want is this bills? FR bills is only 400 yen here. Wow, that's pretty cool. 12K only here as well for the Leonon. So this price is definitely like actual lower. FFR Leonon price is lower. And then let's just quickly scroll from the frame rares. 800. These are just all like. Cool, perfect guards. We saw them before. Kind of same. Well, the triple R's here, we have the Jiva at 1400, right? And the rest of its support is still relatively high too. And then let's look at the Leonon. The Leonon is at 2K. Actually, this one's still 2K, and the Youthberg is at 1500. Wow. So this Leonon price is still high, like still 2K high, I guess. The Jiva one. Do they just have a lot of Jivas? Okay, they have 4 Jivas. You can still buy 4 Jivas. You can only buy 2 Leonon. Okay, so since there's like only 2 Leonons left. Sometimes these sites automatically increase the price if it becomes lower stock, or they see a lot of people buying. So this might have just gone up because of lower stock. If we look at the other one, look at the triple R's at Ute. Yeah, they have heaps of stock for Jiva, heaps of stock for Leonon. So these haven't really disappeared, right? And the only thing that's really out of stock has been the Youthberg stuff. That's kind of it. And then the Overtriggers, basically they're all still there. No, that's actually the great one. Oh, 2K. Wow, these two are the same price. Wow, okay. And this one's only 1 in stock too. So this thing is, the Anthem is really getting sold out. Really getting sold out. And the rest of this is like 500. Yeah, oh, the Dark States Overtrick, no one likes at all. And the Stoic Care one, 3. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much all that we need to look at. And then the last one is just the Shaka buy list. So this is how much they're buying for. All right. So they're buying Nirvana Jivas for like 1,100 yen. And then they're also buying the FFR version at 10K. But then if you look at buying the DSR version of Youthberg Skyfall Arms at 10K as well. That's actually pretty crazy. And then the Leonon they're buying at 1,600 and the FFR at 7,500? Okay. And then 20K for the DSR. So if we cross-check this, right, with the, if we cross-check this with, like, Ute, for example, right, these prices. So, buying the Youthberg DSR for, like, 10k, and then this getting sold for 30k, I could say this number is actually pretty correct, right? They're making, like a 3k profit by just buying and flipping it, by flipping the DSR, and the 20k for the Leonore. I think, yeah, this might be a bit high. Like, the big web price for Leonore might be pretty good, like 2600, right? 2600 for Leonore. If we can scroll up, unless my computer's dead. Yeah, there we go. So here we go. If we scroll up, yeah, so 26 might be okay. And then the rest of it is like FFR at like FFR Youthberg, like G. The 10k for an FFR Jiva is like actually insane. So FFR Jiva and that is like the same, literally the same as like DSR Youthberg. Wow. And the Diantha buy price is higher than the Leonore. So this is, yeah, the grade on, it's 1850. Yo, wow. This is like the inlet pulse. It's like the inlet pulse of set 6. Wow, 1850, better than the Leonore. Wow. The FFR is not high, but you know, FFR prices, still high rarity prices, things like that. But wow, they're buying the triple R of the Hero Dude for 10 yen. They're basically telling you, don't give us that card. Basically, the takeaways from this is pull Nirvana Jiva FFR, because that's probably only go up in price, to be honest. If I look like to be fair, this card will probably only go up in price because as more cards get released from this, and as long as it stays relevant, as long as this card stays relevant, this card will only go up in price. And so if we think about it, like, this set will probably be, Cross Overdress will probably be relevant for like the next 4 sets, right? Because right now, if you look at all the sets, if we compare it to the first block of like Overdress where we got up to the grade 4s, that required 4 sets, right? So if we think for the next 4 sets, this will go up in price for at least 3 sets, until like, you know, in set 4 where they announce something like better, like straight up better, right? Like grade 4 version of this, or like a super version of Jiva. This will still stay in price. But this is just some interesting prices from set 6. Let me know what you guys think, right? And if you're gonna buy high rarity stuff, if you want to pull stuff, if you pulled insane stuff, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.